And the same thing with the GPA, that being frozen, that caused some questions in interviews. You just have to sell yourself and go to every career event that they have here. It really can't hurt.
Okay.
So you'll have no problem.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't have one either. I mean, a lot of people going into the pharmaceutical companies have internships, and I mean, I didn't. So, and the person I work with, who graduated from Holy Cross, she didn't have one either. So,
Really?
you know, it's all, yeah, absolutely. It's not bad to have an internship, but it's not necessary.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. That
definitely.
makes me
Yes.
feel so much better.
Emphasize the other points.
Okay.
Yep. So, you highlight what you have. Yeah.
Do you all get the impression that the job market is starting to improve a little bit for these guys as they're going to be graduating this year?
I know if
next
any of you
year?
guys want to get into tech and software, which I never thought I would be doing this 4 years ago, the tech and software industry, that's the only industry throughout the economy that's been booming because it is the industry of the future. So I know they're always looking for college kids, so just keep an eye out on that, especially in Boston. It's the new Silicon Valley, so just look for that. It's very fast-paced, but there are a lot of opportunities.
Same with the farm programs, like all the big pharma companies hired right through, you know, we were all really fortunate, so those are always seen.
And for whatever reason, with foreign language, teachers tend to move and go to different places and try different things. So, I mean, we've hired new people every year I've been in Reading. There's been people hired now. Sometimes they want people more experienced, other times they hire brand new teachers. It just depends. But there's definitely openings also in math and science. History and English are much harder. So if you have friends in that area, you know, make sure they work in the special education kind of certification too. But for foreign language, there definitely are positions out there for teachers here and there. It's just about finding the right fit.
You can always go back to school.
Or you can go back and find a way to get your loans paid back.
Any other questions?
When you took time off, did you find any loss in income?
Me? Oh, well, I took, my company did tuition reimbursement, so they were paying for me to go to school while I was there. So I took some classes at Harvard Extension. You don't have to have like the GREs or anything. So yeah, I took some classes, like one a semester. I mean, really not like a lot, but that kind of kept me in the groove of it. And then when I went back, I mean, it's been a big transition, but you know, if it's something you really want to do and you're passionate about it, like it's different because I'm not taking anything that doesn't apply to my future now. You know, I'm taking anatomy, but I have to know that. So, you know, you're taking things that really, really are important to you and you care about them. So it makes it that much easier to study it, you know? So I think it was a little bit tough getting back into the groove, but you just put your mind to it and you can do it.
I know a lot of friends that took some time off and then went back to school, and they said the job experience actually helped them more because they were able to better apply it and have real world examples. And I have your scarf that you're wearing.
But there's some professionalism too that you know definitely shows up in the classroom. I'm in a class with kids, not kids, but people your age who just graduated, and I'm also with a 45-year-old, and we're all in the same classroom. And one girl is sitting there half asleep with her coffee, and everyone else is attentive in class. So it doesn't hurt. You know, I'm not saying that all of you graduating are going to go and be like that in class, but you know, there's some level of professionalism that you gain when you do go back to grad school with some time off. So, yeah. I mean, but you don't have to. I don't mean it like that.
No, I'm not saying that. But I just like with BC, a lot of the kids do 5th year, so it depends on the school you're going to. Like my fiance went to BU and got his master's in public health, and that was like Jen's classes, like 23-year-olds and 50-year-olds, like doctors in the classroom, and that's a much more mixed environment. Whereas in my master's level classes, there was a lot of kids that had just graduated BC and a few other Holy Cross kids. And then some of the classes were mixed with PhD students, and that's when you were with the adults, and you could feel like, oh my God, these people have like 10 years of teaching experience and all these master's classes. So that's when you know the difference in those classes. But if you don't have teaching experience, you definitely want to do something like that to gain it. But having had student teaching experience and observation experience, I definitely felt I had some things to pull on and talk from, and a lot of people were doing student teaching while they were taking classes. So that's a very unique thing to do, that kind of program. But the other ones, I know, Chris, it's like 50-year-old people in here with me, and I feel like I don't know anything, but you just have to go with what you have and your background and everything, and you'll be fine.
Other questions, comments?
do have a question for them and also for Aiden. So for students who want to use their summer, what options do you recommend in terms of professional and internships and things like that? What things do you?
I know after Spain, I came back and like 8 days later, I went and worked at in Wallingford, Connecticut, in their summer program, and I worked in the teaching English language learners group. So there were students from Venezuela, one from Spain, from China, Japan, all different international students, and I worked there for the summer, kind of as an RA and as a teaching intern. So that built the experience for me, and my and I would recommend something like that after coming back from abroad, because you're in that kind of international environment and you're like kind of continuing it. And there was a Spanish teacher there, and I got to be friends with her. That's a great opportunity. I also worked at United Way the summer before in Worcester through SIP, and that was great for the nonprofit sector. And my sister is a senior in college at Simmons, and she was doing social work, kind of nonprofit, and just to be able to talk to her and be like, oh, here's this contact, and while you're at Holy Cross, and to work in Worcester and get to know the community. I'm from Worcester originally, too. Jen and I went to high school together, actually. So it's like near and dear to our hearts, and people always have their things to say about Worcester, but it was great to get to know more and help out in the Worcester community. So SIP has so many great opportunities, and you can take advantage of that, especially coming back from abroad. You just flip right into a job if you can, and if not a big deal, but it's definitely possible to do it, because the school programs have to wait till the kids get out of school to start, so you have a little bit of time, because programs in Leon ended in early June, so there's those internships.
Yeah, and I didn't have an internship, and I know some other friends didn't, but then after being abroad too, I was kind of happy to just be home and just be with my family and staying local, but then I aggressively hit the connections when I started, so I think it all evens out. Whatever you want to do, don't force yourself to get an internship if you don't want to do that. It's no sense in wasting a summer. So yeah, just focus on whatever will make you happy.
There's a lot of upward bound type programs that are kind of more, you get to work with high school kids. It's not like a stressful, rigorous business environment. You get to kind of help them, and you can teach whatever subject you're interested in, and it's a low key kind of, you're busy going all day long. I know friends have done it, but that's something you could definitely do, and you're just hanging with 15, 16-year-olds who want to do that every day.
You can take something away from almost whatever you do. I worked at Holy Cross in the chemistry lab one summer. I worked at the UMass as a secretary one summer. Just enjoy what you do.
And to add on to what these women were saying, so if you can land an internship, great. And if you can, it's not the end of the world. And what you can think about is, to think creatively and think about, okay, the beauty of doing an internship is it allows you to try on a career for a short amount of time with minimal commitment. So you can not only develop experience and skills, but also decide, is this something I want to do or not? So if you don't land that internship, then you can think, okay, so during the summer now, I need to make some money, especially if I was abroad, I need to make back some money to have for my senior year.
Yeah.
So if I'm waiting tables or lifeguarding, to think creatively, okay, could I create an internship? Can I kind of volunteer myself 3 mornings a week? An internship doesn't need to be 40 hours a week. So you can think, all right, so I'm really interested in advertising. So let me find an advertising agency. And again, using the alumni network, getting onto the alumni database, finding some Holy Cross alums. Could I come work for you a couple mornings a week or one day during the week? So you can also think creatively. And then the last thing to do is to use your summers to set a goal for yourself to, this summer I'm going to sit down and do 3 informational interviews with 3 alumni. I'm really interested in public relations, advertising, and pharmaceutical sales. So go onto the alumni database, and you can do this summer after your freshman year, after your junior year, after your sophomore year. It matters not when you do it, so do it as much as you can. Ask people if you can just sit with them. Can I sit with you for 2 hours and pick your brain and learn more about what you do? Because most of us, our knowledge of careers is basically, we all know what teachers do, at least we've been exposed to teachers. We probably know doctors, we've been exposed to doctors. You know what your mom does,